So, good morning. I accidentally deleted the video that I was uploading from last night. It's called Currency Revolution. So, I calculated the price of silver at $23.99 yesterday. If the US dollar was once again equal to 1 silver ounce, 4 silver quarters, from the US Mint, reminting our quarters out of silver, the value of Social Security recipients would go up through the roof. So the stories I've heard of Social Security struggling to pay either for their medications, struggling to pay for either their medications or food or rent, would most likely be alleviated because the price for the cost for goods would go way down with silver being the price being $23.99. That's almost $24 for a silver ounce. That means if the when the quarters are pure silver again, the dollar will once again be equal to 1 silver ounce. So you would have essentially the buying or purchasing power of $24, which is what it was yesterday. So you could walk in the store and instead of $1, you could buy $24 with that $1. And that's what purchasing power is. It's kind of counterintuitive, so it's kind of backwards. It doesn't make sense almost until you look at it. So my friend who collects Social Security, she lives on $800 a month. And $800 a month, for some people, is not a whole lot to sustain, everything. So there's a lot of Social Security recipients that they struggle each month, and this is one way to alleviate the Social Security problem. Is it would be plenty if our dollar was revalued to a silver ounce. And I calculated, and I'm not sure if my calculation is correct, but if you take $23.99 times $800, it's $19,000. So if my calculation is correct, then purchasing power of $19,000 a month for the $800 that Social Security recipients receive would be more than plenty, probably, for most of them. It would be a massive pay increase without actually increasing the amount that they receive. So, and I went about looking at this problem to solve our inflation problem because inflation seems to be a problem going out of control on the planet, and it's due in part because of the amount of debt that was incurred during the pandemic. When companies or people take on more debt, they usually have to raise their prices in their business, which causes a chain reaction across the whole supply chain. So I decided to go about it a different route to solve inflation, restore the purchasing power of the dollar, and then it really actually isn't going to be much of a problem. So it's just a counterintuitive change. The US dollar would become the most powerful dollar probably on the planet once again, and that's what makes it powerful has been over the years, since it wasn't silver anymore, was the authority behind it and it being used so commonly across the globe. But with it being backed by silver once again, which is what the quarters do, the quarters and the coinage gives it its silver strength, as an equal 1-to-1 of 1 ounce of silver. So the Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve is a private bank, and it was given the power to print our money with a debt attached to it. And with me being the 10th member of the Supreme Court and having an authority that comes from heaven, I'm ordering the Supreme Court to order the U.S. Treasury to take the bullion and reprint and remint our silver and nationalize the Federal Reserve, all that equipment in the Federal Reserve that does the printing of the U.S. currency, It needs to be confiscated, and needs to become U.S. Treasury property instead of private Federal Reserve Bank property. The Federal Reserve is needs to be charged with undermining the U.S. government and theft of the wealth of the United States, the people of the United States of America. The Gold and Silver Seizure Act during the 1930s under FDR was a criminal act, and the wealth of the nation needs to be returned back to the people in the form of coinage. That will restore and reset the majority of problems. And then the debt, Supreme Court, I'm ordering you to litigate the national debt in debt court, and it needs to be sorted out. Some of it needs to be investigated because it is an unethical and immoral amount of debt to place upon the people of this nation by our representatives, and the waging of war for 20 years in Afghanistan. So I want an investigation done, and it needs to be litigated in debt court. The credit holders, which is primarily the Federal Reserve, that's my debt. So I have the power to eliminate it, and I want to see the accounting books. You will also order the United States Congress to maintain a balanced budget. You will order the executive branch, the president, to submit a budget to the Congress that they must approve of, and then disperse the amount of funds for that. I sent I have another video for the U.S. Treasurer for the gold standard. Constitutionally, gold is lawful money. So I guess I'll just add it here real quickly. To suck up the national debt, the Treasury, Supreme Court, you need to also order the Treasury to do this as well. The $100 bill needs to be printed with a matching gold coin of 1 ounce, and you can refer to it as a Benjamin. It needs to be mixed either as an alloy with enough silver to make it hard, or overlay it on top of silver. I would suggest you add the silver as an alloy in it for white gold coin. And to understand that is, think of it as 100%. The $100 bill represents 100% of 1 gold ounce. And then half a gold ounce would be a grant. 1/4 of an ounce would be a golden quarter. That would be a Washington. And then 1/20th of an ounce, a Jackson. 1/10 of an ounce, a Hamilton. 1/20th of an ounce. I'm sorry. Previous one, the $20 gold coin is 1/5 of an ounce. The Hamilton is 1/10 of an ounce. The a Lincoln would be 1/20th of an ounce of gold, and then the $1 gold coin, a Washington, would be 1/100th of an ounce of gold overlaid on top of either silver or mixed as an alloy. And that should suck up the national debt and reestablish the value of the dollars as much more powerful. Because right now, the value of 1 gold ounce being close to $2,000, that means for $100, you would have the purchasing power with that one Benjamin, that 1 ounce of gold coin. You would have the purchasing power of $2,000 with that $100. So it would make the Federal Reserve notes equal to the face value on the coins, and then that will sustain us and float us through until the U.S. Treasury can print new bills to replace the Federal Reserve notes, because we're getting rid of those, and they need to be U.S. Treasury notes. The money is the American people's. It is not a private institution, which is what the Federal Reserve is. So the Supreme Court will I'm ordering you to nationalize the Federal Reserve and take all of their equipment to the Treasury. And any issues with solving this problem, I'm in Puerto Rico. Cabo Rojo, Boca Raton. Bokoron. So, have a nice day, everybody. This is a currency revolution by restoration of the currency and the Constitution. Oh, and U.S. Senate, Supreme Court, you will order the U.S. Senate to re-legislate all of their unconstitutional legislation that does not have the 2/3 majority votes on it immediately. Thank you.